Thank you for joining us today. As always, we always like to say that we are recording our study groups in case you don't want to show your face or your name. Just uh, you can remove from the screen both of them. Okay. We I'm going to share my screen. I go now with you. Okay. Can you see it? Everything?
Yes.
Okay, good. So today we are on lesson 31st of the book Alert, written by the Spirit Joanna de Angelis, and as a psychography of the medium Divaldo Franco. As always, we remember that this book, Alert, as the name quite well indicates, it's each lesson we will find Joana de Angelis bringing some topics to us to call our attention, to think about it, to see how we are going to be um, incorporating them in our day-to-day lives, and at the same time to be aware of things that perhaps we were not paying that much attention before. Last week we talked about, as I'm going to show you here, we talked about mediumship initiation, explaining a little bit about mediumship, about the associations of thoughts, and how we can somehow communicate with spirits, even if it's not on an ostensive way, but how spirits somehow can influence our thoughts. And here today, so continuing in the same direction, talking about association between incarnate and discarnate, Juana de Angelis bring to us a topic talking about spiritual influences and how can we be impacted by the presence of spirits. So I'm going to start reading. As always, I left it here, both English and Portuguese version. So let's start with our topic, spiritual influences. Believe it or not, the spiritual exchange occurs naturally within the affinity laws that rule life. Where individuals maintain their thoughts and place their moral values is where the mechanisms of synchronization occur. They facilitate the spiritual communication. After all, the spirits are human beings divested of the material envelopment, proceeding according to their own accomplishment. When delayed, they persevere in the primary stages of their evolution. If malevolent, they remain attached to wickedness. If perverse, they persist complying with the afflictions they promote. If envious, they endure in draining passions that intoxicate them. If persecutors, they give breath to the savage tendencies they cultivate. If rancorous, they amplify the circle in which they agonize, contaminating those that fall in their traps. The same occurs with those who live in beauty and love. They foment work and the arts, exercise virtues, and promote progress. They ensure relevant conquests in which they are depositaries, irradiating goodness and mimicking those who give them benevolent assistance. Okay, so here, Joana de Angelis starts explaining that whether we believe it or not, there is a spiritual exchange between the two worlds. And how can this happen? In which way this is going to happen? So she is explaining to us in this first part that it happens in accordance to our way of being, our lifestyle. And when I say lifestyle, I mean what us as the spirits choose to be the objects of our preference according to our spiritual involvement. So the way we think, the things that we find it more agreeable to ourselves, and very much like we make friends or we have a circle of acquaintances here on Earth. It is the same thing that we are going to establish in terms of spiritual companions. It is going to be spirits that will have affinity, will like the same things that we do. So here she's explaining even further by saying, according to our inner dispositions, and then she gives some examples, we will attract the same kind of spirits. So if we are envious, if we are perverse, if we are rancorous, we will attract the same kind of spirits that will sympathize with our causes. On the same token, if we are emanating good vibrations, if we are constantly trying to engage in good deeds, in good thoughts, we are going to attune with likewise minds. It's very much like, when you have a radio and you have different frequencies, each of them is going to be playing a different kind of music. And you are going to attune or to tune in the station, so to say, that we find more compatible to our tastes. So it is the same way. It is a choice. So we are emitting energy, and the kind of energy that we emit are going to attract the same kind of energy from, let's say it, for the lack of a better way of explaining it, the other side of life. Because we are just always talking about life, whether with a physical form or without a physical form, we are spirits, immortal spirits. Okay, let's see. We have one question here. The spirits are human beings. Spirits are invisible human. Spirits are invisible humans that. Okay, let me. As always, we explain that what are we? And this we have even in the question 76. This one I know by heart. The spirits book. We are spirits, and the spirits are the intelligent beings of the universe. We will always be spirits. So whether I live on Earth or currently because it's in fashion on Mars or Jupiter or whatever other globe that exists, we are always spirits. But sometimes we will have more dense or not envelopment. So if I am in the tropics, I can have a light cover in my physical body. If I am on the mountains, wintertime, I need more layers and a denser type of clothing. So it's the same way with us. When we are when we belong to a certain world, we will dress ourselves with the energy of that world, and we are, when on Earth, like for instance incarnates, we will have this that we call even more physical body. Okay, but sometimes we say, okay, enough's enough. Now it's time for me to return. Then we leave this behind. We are still spirits. We are always spirits. The only difference is whether we have this physical body or not accompanying us. But it doesn't change at all, as it says here in this first part. If I am malevolent, I mean, I'm going to be. It's not because I'm dead that I'm going to change my way of being overnight. I may, if I'm not that stubborn, I can say, I didn't think that there was the case, right? And so I may start seeing things differently. But even then, it's not immediate, you know. So, any other question or comment regarding this first part? Most of the concepts that we are going to be talking today are concepts that, along the way we have been mentioned. Some of you may know some more, some more, others a little less, but it's something that we've been constantly commenting, which doesn't mean that we are doing or paying attention in terms of, being very mindful of our thoughts and our actions. So this is the purpose here. It's not just for us to become aware. Oh, okay, the spirits from the other side of life, they can influence me. Yeah, okay, I attract them by ties of sympathy, some kind of attunement. Okay, but when it comes to the day-to-day lives, we don't do anything to prevent, or in the case like we would love to have more uh, special spirits, good spirits next to us, or even change our ways to be more inviting to this kind of energy, to this kind of spirits. So this is what we have to pay attention now. Let's see this other paragraph here. Do not allow yourself moral slippages. Establish a period of personal vigilance and vitalize your duties in your mind to exercise them through sentiments when in the presence of others. Those that leave earth strongly magnetized by vices return eager, parched, anxious, trying to continue the unfortunate program presently interrupted, using kindred attendants that provide them with physical organs. Consequently, the caravan of defenseless victims suffering crude spiritual obsessions, attachments is very large. So, as we were saying, uh, again, is the know thyself, is the paying attention to what we are doing, is putting in place question 919 of the Spirit's book, 919a, when the Spirit of Saint Augustine comes and talk that each day, at the end of the day, he used to make an assessment of his behaviors, of his thoughts, to become more aware of what kind of energy we are dispensing or sending to the world. So this is very important. Again, is being mindful of who we are, of what our thoughts and emotions are showing. Because, like she says here, when we return to the spiritual realm, and if we are talking about spirits, they are very much attached to materiality, to the vices, addictions, everything that we have here. Once back, they will continue craving for the same things. And since they don't have a physical body to satisfy their whims anymore, they will find victims that will fall prey to their necessities without even realizing that sometimes, the craving you're feeling right now is not yours. That's why we always have to be mindful. I remember watching a talk, going to a conference by Thich Nhat Hanh, uh, um, and all the time he was just repeating and repeating and repeating this word, be mindful. Be mindful when you drink. Drink water. We are not even, we're not talking spirits. We, you know, feel, because sometimes, you're thirsty, you go there, you just turn the bottle and drink, 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 and you finish, but you didn't even pay attention. And in this case, you do not satiate your thirsty, because you're not even involved. It's the same time sometimes with when you're eating, and we go there, and oh, it's time for lunch, we go and eat automatically. Half an hour later you say, I'm hungry, I don't even remember whether I had lunch or not, because your mind was not into it, you're not involved in the process. And so we have to be involved in the process, we have to be thinking about it in order to actually be capable of being control. That's the goal, to be in control. Comments, questions?
Usada,
Yes.
it's so clear to what Joanna de Angelis is telling us here. Uh, this importance of this exchange of, we do it to ourselves. And if we are not vigilant of our surroundings and what we're doing, then we're going to get what we deserve, whether it's good or not even knowing. It's not even good and bad. Sometimes people just don't understand exactly what you're explaining here. There are two worlds. We're here in the physical world, there's a spirit world. And surely then you try to explain to them, well, we get influence according to how we act in life. And sometimes exactly what you said, we have to be mindful because especially nowadays that we're going through so much, uh, you get lost in because of this lifestyle that we have now. We can't go out, we can't do this, we can't do that. So you get a little frustrated and, it's easy to slip down the slope. You forget and you get yourself into a bind that when you wake up, you say, oh my God, what's going on? But because of this lesson that you're giving us now, you keep, flourishing us with so much understanding that we got to keep going. We have to be vigilant. And there is, yeah, we're here, but there is a spiritual world. And whatever you do according to bad or good or whatever we're doing, we're going to get influenced by this, and sometimes if you want to explain this to somebody, of course, very difficult to understand. But I understand what she's telling us now, what you're explaining. Of course, we know that we are spirits and there is a spiritual world. According to what we do, the exchanges of both worlds, like you were explaining, it affects us. But we have to be vigilant. Joanna de Angelis is so good. She always keeps us alert, alert. And it's good to continue studying this to keep us focused and moving forward and not to lose one moment of what's going in, get lost in the shovel.
Yeah, we are suffering now the same thing that Pasteur suffered in his time when he was trying to show, there is an invisible world of microbes, of, viruses, of your bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because we are not seeing them that they are not there. And in the same way as bacteria, for instance, what do we do to prevent, unwanted bacteria to get into your home?
Keep yourself
You,
clean.
you do a very good cleaning, right?
Yes.
Because you don't want this invasion. Oh, okay, there are fleas around, but it's just in my neighbor, or or termites, or I'm not going to be paying attention to them unless I see them. And when you see the house is falling down already, okay, with the termites or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to use.
Mhm.
preventive action. In terms of the spiritual thing, it's the same thing. You say, oh, I don't see them, and they are not around, and I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But some of them, they really act as bacteria, and they will be attracted by the dirt we accumulate in our minds. Like we have the dirt we accumulate in our houses,
Right.
for instance, for the other kind of bacteria, right?
Yes.
So I think maybe if we try to compare or to make a correlation between the what is in the micro, it is also on the macro, right? Talking beginning with the bacteria to think about us as a spirit is the same thing. I don't see electricity,
Right. Right.
and without electricity we couldn't be talking right now, right?
Yes.
So I don't believe because I don't see it.
Right.
But we see the results, and it's the same thing when you are starting perceiving, be if it an unexplained uh, burst of joy and calmness. You can even say, no, this is not mine, right?
Right.
I think I have a very good visitor now that left this perfume in my home. Or the other way around. All of a sudden you start feeling, heavy, depressive, and then you say, why is that? I don't have a reason all of a sudden to feel this way as well,
Yeah.
right? Maybe it's an unwanted, in this case, is an unwanted visitor that we may have. Okay, let's see here what Orlando wrote. Who we are when we spend most of our life in therapy, sick, confused with religious demanding our faith, and we die with these problems. Orlando, we are living in an adventure, and and there are many options. There are many crossroads, and we are the ones that are choosing which one we are going to take. Some of them will make us go farther away from problems. In other cases, we go right away, straight away to them. So while we are in this turmoil, adventurous existence, it is we will see this ups and downs. We will be having doubts we will be experiencing, even when you say in terms of religion. That's why we always say, for us, is never a matter of trying to convince people of, oh no, follow this or follow that, because again, in the same way that we are talking here about affinity, we will have more affinity with a certain way of approaching the truth, because the truth, my friend, is just one. And we still do not know that this one. Okay, we are trying to little by little lifting the veil here and there to get closer to the truth. But there are different ways of getting there. And some people will find it easier following a certain kind of ideology than others, certain kind of religions than others. And so while we are still here allowing life to throw us from one side to the other instead of us taking control, we will find all of this, we will feel unbalanced, that we will need therapy, we will
Okay.
become sick of the mind, of the body, all because of the abuses and bad choices we make. Okay, so let's see this other paragraph here. Free yourself from inferior passions, working on aspirations and shaping the future with proper actions. Change your vicious mental cliches and renew your internal landscape. Be a practitioner of the prayer of silence, reflecting about real values of life. Attach yourselves to loving others, contributing to the well being of all in general. So, there is no other way for us to find peace of mind. My peace of mind doesn't depend on others, it depends on me and how I allow others to impact my well being. The world will keep going and people will keep being what they are, each one of us working on our possibilities, but we cannot allow others to dictate who we are and what we feel. um, and even things, we are not saying here that we are going to become cold to what is happening. So we will be having moments of happiness and sadness by what is happening to us, what is happening to others, what is happening in the world. But it's still, I am in control. And there is a difference of, letting uh, exaggerated uh, emotions to derail you. So basically what she's saying here, we also have to be in control of our own emotions. If I'm in a very good mood today and someone tries to, their best to change my mood, it's up to me whether I'm going to allow that to happen or not. We cannot allow others to have control of our emotions. And sometimes it's so easy, right? How many times do you say, oh my God, I was having a wonderful day, and then that person came and started, teasing me, uh, anything, and ruined my day. It was not the person that ruined your day, it's you that allowed the person to ruin your day.
Mm.
I remember once Divaldo saying, sometimes people come and give you a present, and the present may be something very unpleasant. It's up to you whether you are going to accept this or not, right?
Mm.
And so here she says something very interesting. Be a practitioner of the prayer of silence. What does this mean? It means to, whenever you feel, you will remember the water of peace, that
Yes,
whenever you feel like replying to something,
take a glass of
put
water.
water in your mouth and let the urge to say something that you shouldn't go away. This is the prayer of silence. Sometimes we have to say something, right? And
Yes.
even knowing that is going to be throwing more wood on the fire, right? But
Hmm.
but we cannot keep our mouths shut uh, for whatever excuse we are going to give, to say, oh no, but I need it. This is the truth, or whatever. No, sometimes it's just the best thing is just to keep our mouths shut. And this is what she says, a practitioner of prayer, the prayer of silence. Uh, and think about what is really worth. I mean, is it really worth for you to say something that you know that is going to aggravate even more a situation and
Like you
prolong
said,
that and be more difficult to perhaps solve the case after? Or so, yeah. Yes, all right.
it's very hard sometimes if you have the opportunity to say something. You
Yeah,
don't, sometimes I feel like that lost opportunity to say at this time, but you're explaining it's best not to say. It might turn out to be worse. It's better to keep quiet. Sometimes you don't know. You don't know. You walk out that door. The person might not. You might not see that person anymore. So then, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should have said something.
yeah,
I know I have. usually I don't say anything, but then I get upset because I lost the opportunity to say what I should have said. I might not have that opportunity next time, or the subject might be just forgotten about. So
Yeah, but welcome to the club. I guess we all feel this way. How many times we think we should have said something and
yes,
we shouldn't have said something. And here it goes as well to preaching. It
yeah,
doesn't mean just that we are going to say something
yeah,
that is going to be aggressive. It can be something even holy to in terms of our consideration, but that the person doesn't want to hear at that moment.
exactly.
Like, you are in the middle of a fight, the person is very in a very choleric state, and you say, "Oh, my brother, oh, my sister, let's kneel down and pray."
Oh,
Oh my God, you can get
no, no,
something thrown at you
I think you're crazy.
if you say that, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
wonderful, it's good intention. Let's pray to calm down, or let's make a minute of silence. I mean, even if it's with the good of your heart, a good thing with good intention, if you say something in an appropriate time, it is going to to act or to feel like an aggression as well.
See, yeah.
You see, it's not even just being aggressive. It's how the other will feel your behavior as an aggression, because you say, "Oh, she's always trying to, give me moral lessons,"
Yes, yes, yes,
or
yes.
you know what I mean.
Yes, yes.
So we are not even talking here about saying bad things. We are talking about
Yes, good.
good things, but not at the right time. So yeah, this is the moment for the prayer of silence.
Drink that water.
Serenity now. you know, just become deaf for a few minutes and say it's not to me, it's not towards me, whatever. Okay.
No,
So
you're
let's
good.
go
Right.
to the someone was going to say somewhere. So let's go to the last paragraph. When
Okay.
you feel your negative tendencies incited, awaken, and reacting. Oh no, sorry. When you feel your negative tendencies incited, awaken, and react. Do not allow yourself to be hypnotized by the disturbing spirits. Resonate with Jesus, and He, the unconditional and liberator friend, will come to your aid, favoring you with peace and happiness. So here she's saying, when you're about to lose control, whether it's only you losing control by yourself or you are being incited by spiritual interferences, just move that away, move away from those emotions as much as you can. Okay, I mean, it is going to be on our own benefit. It's not really on the benefit of others. It's mostly on our own benefit. You're not going to feel unbalanced. You will feel proud of being in control. Your body is not going to feel the aggression of aggressiveness of us getting into a state of cholera that affects our functioning immune system, etc. That shakes our physical body and our core, in their core, its core. And so it's very important for us to try as much as we can. And of course, again, the prayer of silence is a good thing. I mean, you can start thinking about Jesus or a good spirits or whatever, you know, comes to your mind at that moment, in order not to have, to allow yourself to lose control.
Mhm.
Because when this happens, we can be sure that we cannot blame the spirits, but they will come. We were the one that allowed them to come, and if they see confusion and a way of, having having a good time, according to their view, by engaging in quarrels or any kind of disagreements or whatever imbalance we may be feeling, they will take the chance to dominate us. Okay. Any question or comment at this point? See what we have. Okay, so next week. Yes, Sonia.
When she mentioned about to be vigilant, and because in the beginning of the chapter, she lists very strong words and behaviors. And then, but in our daily life, the obsession occur when you complain, when you be really deep sad, when you discussing or gossips, and then we don't pay attention about our behavior, and then suddenly we start to have like bad thoughts, bad feelings, and then this is growing up around us and we don't know why. And because for me, when mentioned about perverse, malevolent, I not believe I'm like this, but I can judge someone in bad behavior and talk about that behavior. And this is a gossips. This is, and then this attracted the negative around us.
Mhm.
And then I think it's important to mention, maybe it's not only the strong bad behavior, but a little bit in our daily life, we attract with the small, not good behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I know we are talking about something that is very, very hard, especially for us to maintain, you know, uh, but it should be our goal. Okay. Even if, let's say that today I have three thoughts, three behaviors that I regret. I mean, last week I was having five or six or 10. What I cannot allow or I shouldn't allow is that last week I had none and this week, I have to try to become better. I have to be in control, even though there will be moments that I know that I will not be capable of doing that, but it is still be in control. Okay, saying, how we easily like to reward ourselves. You may even say, oh my God, this week I was on my best behavior. But now this is my one free pass of the week. Okay, if it does work for you. But the thing is, for us to be, that's the thing of being mindful. And sometimes it's all the time. You know, people are happy because they are unhappy because they are too skinny. Skinner, right? If they are too fat, if they are regular, if my hair is blonde or is black, or we are unhappy with everything.
Yes.
If you have it, you don't like it. You like it better from your neighbor, right? The green is the grass is always greener, right? On the other side of the fence. So we are always complaining, and this is what you're saying, right, Sonia? It's not sometimes even, extreme behaviors. It's our general state of, if you have diabetes, you cannot eat sweets. You will complain because you cannot eat sweets. But then there are people that have ulcer and not only cannot eat sweets, they cannot eat a lot of other things. But you don't think that it could be even worse, right? We never think about it. Uh, So we are always, wanting, and never happy with what we have. And this kind of lack of satisfaction state also bring those kind of companions. There are always, that dark cloud around our heads, above our heads, hovering around. And that puts us down. I mean, you were on your best behavior the whole week, and then today you are not that good. Then you will say, okay, what's the point? I'll never do it, and then give up. No, allow yourself a free pass and try to do better the next day. It's the same thing here. This is what we have to be doing. This is how we have to be working. Let's see here what Orlando. Can an alcoholic blame the incarnate spirit or the physical body for drinking? No, he cannot. He can only blame his spirit himself for the choices one made, right? Of course, with whatever thing, it doesn't need to be alcohol or cigarettes. It can be sweets. It can be a certain type of food. It can be a certain type of behavior. We become addict to things, right? So, and some of them may be more harmful to the physical body. Some of them may be more harmful to our emotional state, to psychological, spiritual stage. So we have to rid ourselves from cravings that at the end of the day, we know that are not good for ourselves. But see, we have to have our own time to do that. No one can force us to do that. I mean, it is a process. Once we establish a habit, we have those saying that, the saying that old habits die hard, because it is hard to get rid of them. So as long as you have the ideal of, I'm going to get there, is the first step. Okay, but knowing that the same process that led us to become physically, emotional, or spiritually intoxicated is going to require a period of adjustment that is going to be hard, right? But it's everything is the spirit choice. And sometimes, unfortunately, because we are not that aware of things, we engage in things that are not, like Paul of the Tarsus used to say, everything is allowed to me, but not everything is convenient to me. So I can do anything, but is it on my own interest? And sometimes we learn about it a little later in life. So to get to the process of ridding ourselves of certain habits, and listen, it's always very easy for us to talk about the physical acts, okay? But we have addictions in terms of way of behaving, or that is much more damaging sometimes than addictions of the body. But yeah, we have to deal with all of them, and it's a matter and a choice, the choice of the spirit. So us as a spirit should be, at least now that we are more in control, paying attention, at least not to engage in things that we are not, it's not going to be bringing us any good. I remember that when Starbucks start their business, you know, a few, I don't know how many years ago, 1 decade or something, 1.5 ago. I never liked it, coffee. I don't drink coffee. But then I would see everyone say, "Oh my God, Starbucks coffee," and going there and getting their nice cup of, those fancy kind of coffee. And then I said, "Oh my God, I think I'm going to force myself to drink coffee because it looks so nice, so fancy, so this and that." And then I said to myself, "Well, don't be stupid." At the same time, I know so many people that drink coffee and they wanted to cut their intake of coffee. And now at this, at this point in my life, I'm going to be engaging in something that I never liked and I never wanted. You
Something.
see, sometimes, there is a lot of enticement and temptation in things that we don't need. And why are we going to get into that now? So at least if you still cannot get rid of things in this incarnation, because one day we will, of things that are, you know, not good for us, at least do not engage with new ones, okay? Do not get yourself into more trouble. It is good enough. It is good enough. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So
Good.
we can have our final prayer then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.